This is one that Benjamin Lau is going to be watching closely because he has polarized matchups against these decks in both directions.
Yeah.
He is extremely good against Dhaliwal and extremely bad against Mazuroski.
Yeah, so Ben Lau's only loss of the tournament, we actually got to catch on camera. It was yesterday in round 8. He lost to John Whetstone, I believe, playing Burn.
Yep.
And Sean Dhaliwal also has having a one-loss tournament. His one loss was to Ben Lau earlier today.
I believe that.
Right. So so if they meet in the finals here, that is going to be a rematch.
I watched the semis.
Yeah. You can believe it. Outside, what I learned from the semis is when you don't have Meddling Mage, I don't like that matchup at all. I'm not even sure I like it if you have Meddling Mage, but
right. There's just answers to that card.
Yeah. Turn 3 sweepers are messed up. One sweepers that make 10 power.
Right. If you think mind control is good. It's funny, one of the more busted cards, depending on environment, but it's still good even in Power Cube. One of the more busted cards ever printed is Treachery. And if you look at how it impacts the game, I think Living End quite a bit more busted.
Sure. Both of them are removal for your opponent's creatures that give you a creature.
Right.
The upside, I guess, the upside on Treachery is that's only going to be one creature. I mean, it costs 0, so it's totally unfair. Sometimes Living End can be 3 Treacheries.
Right.
You lose 3 creatures and you get 3 creatures.
Yeah, you have to tap all your lands, I guess, but I believe it's well worth the cost.
You only have to tap 3 of them.
Right.
Turn 1 Goblin Guide from Mazuroski is going to crack on in, send Sean to 18. Thalia was the card revealed on top.
This is part of another element that makes play draw pretty significant in this matchup. Goblin Guide gets it validated relatively quickly here. You saw the card revealed was Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, just a first striking creature, really effective blocker for Goblin Guide.
Suspend of Rift Bolt by Mazuroski. And another Rift Bolt suspended. So he's going to swing in with this Goblin Guide for 2 more damage. And Sean's going to go to 16. Auriok Champion out of the sideboard is on top of the deck. That one's pretty good here.
Yeah, so previously you might have seen Dhaliwal just cast Thalia here. Stefan would have paid 1 for the first Rift Bolt, probably target the Thalia, and the other one comes off suspend. But just casting the Champion means that that blocker couldn't be removed. Oh no, Dhaliwal missed a land drop, so forget all this.
Going down to 13, down to 10. Yeah.
And this is a lot of damage really quickly.
Yeah, and also, I believe there actually is a way that Burn can answer Auriok Champion, and it's in Mazuroski's hand. So Skullcrack can actually allow a creature with protection from red would still take red damage for that turn, as damage can't be prevented.
Yeah, if you get it involved in combat with one of your creatures, and you Skullcrack, and suddenly the champion will take damage.
So Sean down to 8 on the attack. This is going to be a fast one. That stumble on Dhaliwal may send us to a quick third game. As Stefan's draw is well above average here.
Right. Pretty quick matches in the top 8 of this modern tournament. Go figure.
Lanthier lost, and then at that point,
right,
there's no one else to
We had an control player, and he missed his 3rd land drop in one of the games, and he was gone.
So we see another Lava Spike. Sean down to 5. And a Skullcrack. Sean down to 2. 7 just main phasing all of this. As we go back over to Sean. He's at 2. Gonna have to find a way to deal with this Goblin Guide.
I like the very deliberate resetting of the die on the top of the library as if he's ever going to be touching that again.
He can vial an Auriok Champion into play. And then probably lose.
Yes.
Does that and he passes. Stefan does need to produce a burn spell.
I like the knocking on the deck.
You don't have to knock the
from
top of the deck.
17.
You come on. This is not the time to use your one time.
You are really blowing that one time, my friend.
And Stefan just has a Snaring Bridge. Actually, maybe a bit hasty on using that Skullcrack. I think he's being punished here. Otherwise, he could have attacked that turn, Skullcracked, had the same result, and then there'd be no Auriok champion.
Correct. And if Dhaliwal can find a land, which he drew Ether Vial, it's not a land, but producing 2 creatures would give him 2 Auriok champion triggers.
Yeah.
Going up to 4 would force Mazuroski to find Boros Charm.
Yeah, there is an Ensnaring Bridge in play now, and an empty-handed Mazuroski is going to look at that one. He can make another Aether Vial. He left one of them on 2. So he'll go to 3. The problem is that all these burn spells are instants, so even if he vials in a Kitesail Freebooter, he probably dies to the burn spell.
You can catch Lava Spike.
Okay. So he says
May as well fire it on draw step.
During draw step, let's vial in a Freebooter. Start there. Is it an instant? Here's Kitesail Freebooter. Dhaliwal to 3.
Well, it's a land.
Okay.
Now he can almost assuredly go to 4, put some other creature in on his turn. Yeah. And if he is able to make 2 creatures, he can go to 5, which effectively fades any one draw step. And then from there, if he has boarded in at least 1 copy of Reclamation Sage, eventually he should be able to bust through and come across for lethal.
Yeah. I almost feel like he'll need a second Auriok champion for his life gain to keep pace with Stefan's top-decked burn, but that is possible.
Yeah. The creatures have become very bad top decks for Stefan.
Vialed in Thalia. He can do that right now before Stefan can draw another burn spell. Dhaliwal will go up to 4. Still hasn't drawn a land, so that Vial on 1 and that 1 land don't really do much. Stefan, however, looks like he's found something. It is Lightning Bolt. He'll send it upstairs to put Shawen back down to 1.
And now Dhaliwal's had a lot of cards in hand he hasn't been able to leverage just yet, so should be able to gain a healthy amount of life here. There's also some Meddling Mages, so we can start systematically turning off certain top decks for Stefan.
He does have Reclamation Sage in hand, too.
Yeah, I just spotted that as well.
Now, he still has to fade some draws. We're not safe yet.
Right. If he can produce 3 creatures yet, which I don't know that he can.
Okay, Reclamation Sage gains a life, blows up Ensnaring Bridge.
Once he gets up to 4, he can Meddling Mage Boros Charm, and then that's not a top deck.
He's got 1 more draw step to dodge, and he's going to swing the team, leaving back the Reclamation Sage. So this is a swing for 4, Stefan down to 13. I like the aggression from Shawen. He'll pass. During draw step, I think we're going to see another Freebooter. He's hoping it's not an instant. It's Monastery Swift Spear.
Okay, that is a bad draw for Stefan.
We're going to confirm that Shawen gained the life off his Freebooter, and he did. He goes up to 3.
And this is a huge breath of fresh air for Shawen, because now the next creature will put him up to 4 life. And he does have a Meddling Mage. He can name Boros Charm. That means that 1 top deck is not going to put him out of the game no matter what.
Yeah, and if you look at Auriok Champion again, you don't even want to cast Monastery Swift Spear into this.
Yeah, it's not an effective blocker. It just makes Dhaliwal gain another life. And he's already at a point where he's going to gain enough life out of this. I think that Dhaliwal has turned the corner.
It's starting to look that way.
Especially if he effectively uses Meddling Mage. If he names a card that Stefan draws, I think the game is just over.
Yeah. Does finally hit another land. It's Horizon Canopy. I'm not sure he wants to tap that one.
That's a card.
I guess it is life neutral, right?
Yeah.
Because he takes the damage and he'll gain the life.
You cast a creature.
Here's Thalia's Lieutenant. Let's get some pumps going. Can he put together... If he has another Lieutenant, he might even be able to put together a lethal attack.
Yeah, so this puts him up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And remember, Reclamation Sage, not a human, so it's not part of this attack.
Right.
And Shawen's going to swing everything. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, as mentioned here.
If there's no blocks, either a Phantasmal Image or a Lieutenant would make this lethal.
No. Yeah, Stefan's not... And he... Even a top-decked Boros Charm may not save him here.
Well, first there's that check. Is he just going to lose the game right now?
Yeah.
You want to put a blocker in front of something for that reason, and then I think you get out of this turn regardless.
He puts in front of Thalia.
And then I imagine that Dhaliwal will violin Meddling Mage using the Violin 2 and name Boros Charm.
Right, because then he'll be at 4.
Right. Then there's just nothing else that deals 4. I don't know. You wouldn't board it any if you have it, but I'm looking for Exquisite Firecraft. But yeah, neither in the sideboard, nor really good in the matchup.
Goblin Guide hits the bin. Stefan down to 5. Yeah, on Sean's side, so you want to see right to your main phase, Viling and Mage on Boros Charm?
Yes, before Stefan draws his card, Violin Meddling Mage, name Boros Charm, the game is locked up.
And here comes the Meddling Mage. He'll go to 4. Is he going to name Boros Charm? By our count, that should lock it up. Boros Charm's the name.
Good name.
Sean goes to 4. I think he's got this one. A draw for Stefan.
I think
this time, it's not going to do it.
Draw that could have mattered would have been in the Snaring Bridge.
And if he'd found this draw turn earlier, it would have worked. He found Skullcrack. Sean goes to 5. If he had one, it would have worked there, but Skullcrack is not going to do it. Sean going to go to 2 on the Skullcrack.
I assume that the Skullcrack is responding to the champion trigger, so I think it puts him to 1, but I don't think he just blocks this and he lives.
Sean says, I will block. And Stefan extends the hand. Sean Dhaliwal, a 2-0 winner over Mazuroski. And the rematch is set. Our 1 and 2 players, they had their top 8 spots locked up 3 hours ago. The first 2 players to make it in. And after all that time, it comes down to them yet again.
Really impressive stuff.